This is a story of two blockades and the contrasting manner in which both were dealt with. In Delhi, a group of Jats blocked water supply to crucial parts of the city, but their siege was quelled in less than 24 hours. Far away in Manipur, though, the state has been paralyzed for more than 2 months now. Ordinary Manipuris are paying through their nose for essential commodities like petrol, diesel and kerosene. And finally, after 65 days, the centre has woken up. It'll be sending a dozen odd companies of central forces starting tomorrow in a bid to break the blockade. Parts of Delhi running dry due to Jat protesters laying siege to a crucial pipeline. It's the same scene in Manipur. Endless queues for essential items, all due to the crippling economic blockade by Naga groups. Just that Delhi's woes ended within 24 hours, but Manipur has continued to suffer for almost 2 months now. That's right, it's a tale of two blockades, two states held hostage to politics, but separated by political will or the lack of it. Relief returned to the capital as the water crisis was resolved. This after Jats, who had cut off water supply to parts of Delhi on Sunday over demands for job quotas and reservation in educational institutions, called off their agitation, thus restoring water supply.
क्या हमारा 12 सदस्यीय प्रतिनिधि मंडल दिल्ली जा रहा है। दिल्ली सरकार वार्ता के लिए तैयार हो गई है। उस प्रतिनिधि मंडल के यहां से चलने के बाद हम डीएम साहब को बोल देंगे ये अपना पानी चालू करा दे।
The swiftness and urgency with which both the centre and the Delhi government moved is more than evident. This after Jat protesters on Sunday turned off the supply to 2 water treatment plants, forcing large parts of East and South Delhi to struggle for potable water. The Sonia Vihar and Bhagirathi water treatment plants serve about 40% of the capital's water needs. Worried over the fallout, the Sheila Dikshit administration pulled out all stops to end the problem.
We are in touch with the government of UP. Our own officers from the Delhi Jal Board have been there. We have been and also we have kept the government of India informed that the solution to this must be found at the very earliest.
As far as the water situation is concerned, it's almost normal as far as this canal is concerned. It only remains to be seen how long it will take for the situation in Delhi to get back to normal.
Manipuris are reeling under a massive crisis triggered by the economic blockade by Naga groups for almost 2 months now. National Highway number 39 continues to remain closed, thus triggering a major scarcity of essential commodities and a consequent skyrocketing of prices.
We are trying to bring all the, the commodities through some other ways.
Nagas led by the NSC and IM have been agitating for long for separate statehood carved out from parts of Manipur. The centre all this while has remained alarmingly apathetic. It's finally decided to use force to lift the economic blockade and is planning to move central forces. But the action is clearly too little, too late. With Abhishek Bhalla and Tavleen Singh in Delhi, Bureau Report Headlines Tonight. All right, let's go across to Ravinder Bava, my colleague who's been tracking the story. Ravinder, it's reflective, isn't it, in many ways, of the centre's warped priorities. You have a Jat siege of Delhi which gets quelled in less than 24 hours, and in Manipur, people have been suffering for the better part of 2 months, and finally the centre wakes up.
Absolutely, Zaka. Even though the centre is taking an argument that they were being patient and they were wanting the protesters to withdraw the kind of blockade they had put through in that area, but that doesn't, let them off their responsibility, because after all, if there is a situation like this in any of the states, it is the responsibility of the centre to actually communicate or actually deal with it along with the state administrators. And after the Home Minister spoke to the Chief Ministers of both the states, the solution was found, and that's how this decision was taken. But nonetheless, it does not let, their patience has been there for all this while. But what about the patience of the people? The people have suffered throughout these 2 months, but for these 2 months, the center was patient but did not look at the troubles which they were having. And today they have had Prime Minister met the Naga leaders, and very soon there will be a meeting between Chief Secretaries and the Home Ministry officials to take the next line of action.
Well, you can see some of the prices of essential commodities, the Manipur rates and the rest of India rates. It gives you an indication of just how much hardship the resilient people of Manipur have been going through over the last 60 days.